So like somewhere out there
That's
are trading
gross.
cards with like pieces of Grant's
Dude,
underwear.
I love Grant Dawson. That is gross.
Embedded in the card.
That is gross. All right, someone
like clockwork.
like yeah, she comes right for the gross comments. One of the greatest hairs in all of the UFC, a future world champion, Canadian's finest, one of the best strikers I've ever seen, someone who talks on a microphone better than any female in the UFC history, the one and the only Gillian the Savage Robertson.
What about Grant's underwear?
That's all she heard.
You know the trading cards that have like a piece of fight worn like clothing embedded into them?
Yeah.
They did some of those for Grant, I'm pretty sure. And I know like one fight they like kept like his shorts and his underwear, maybe. I can't remember. So I think somewhere out there, at least his shorts, there's like pieces of his shorts embedded in the cards, which is kind of cool, but also kind of creepy at the same time.
Kind of weird still too.
G, have you ever done the sign-in for the cards?
No, I've never done the signing for them. Every time that you win a fight, they always take one piece of fight-worn clothing for you to sign, though. So every single fight I've ever had in the UFC that I've won, they've taken either my shorts, my jacket, or my shirt, anything that has my name on it, and they take it, and I have to sign one piece of it.
How many? That's a lot of wins. How many wins in the UFC do you have, Jillian?
Oh, honestly, I don't even know my record, honestly.
Jesus.
I think
let's pull it.
I think I have 12 or 13 wins in the UFC.
Dude, she has so many wins, she can't even count, guys.
Remember,
what
guys.
A savage.
All right.
Are you doing it now?
Robertson, yeah, I'm on it.
All right.
15-8 overall. Woo. UFC record 12 wins. 12 wins in the UFC.
Jeez, what a savage. What a savage. They all get sold. UFC collectibles.
That's one more than Grant.
Imagine opening up a pack of cards and get pieces of someone's jockstrap. That is
I don't think they do that, but that would be hilarious.
All right, LG. To start this show, everyone had a comment about it. We've been off air on it. This is it. This is your time. If you want to make fun of my hair, go for it. If you think it looks decent, you can say that too. What's your go-to?
We got to change the whole logo now. The whole Dave Van Auken logo. It's the hair. It's the signature. Come on. Like, what are we supposed to do?
Dude, a couple people are really upset about me. We're really upset about this. So
Dean's not happy.
He is not happy. He FaceTimed me right away. Like when you get a FaceTime by Dean, you know you're in trouble. So crazy.
Instantly too.
It was quick. All right, couple more cards. I do want to get to Mexico City with you. Sean Brady just got ranked #1 in the welterweight division. We got Macy Barber versus Aaron Blanchfield. So we got a couple things, but we opened this pack when you were coming on. Oof, really good one. G has fought on the same card of this fighter, and you were kind of shy to go up to meet him. It was like your all-time favorite, one of your all-time favorites.
I already know. Max Holloway.
Look at that.
Has to be.
Yeah. Dude, that's why me and Grant are so good. We have like inside jokes. Grant's like, oh, Dave, this guy, this girl.
Yeah, see, but that's the thing. When you do it for me, you don't use like a story we have. You go, in my head, this is the #2 best bantamweight fighter of all.
You're not in my head?
Not in your head. You don't use our inside jokes. You use your opinionary statistics.
All right, 2 more. One is pretty bad. I don't think we're going to get, to be honest, and one I think we should get. This guy is a light heavyweight. I believe he's always ranked in between like 8 and 12. He had.
This is easy. Of course. I'm kidding.
Light heavyweight?
Yeah, light heavyweight. This guy beat Alexander Gustafsson on Blades versus Aspinall.
Who fought Gus?
Dude, look at SG.
Krylov, nice.
Would have never guessed.
Would not have got that. I would have needed way more statistics for that.
This heavyweight fought for a championship, was on a 2-fight losing streak, just won, and maybe one of the most boring heavyweight fights of all time. Who is this guy who trains at American Top Team?
He does train at American Top Team, or used to?
Ooh, I thought he still did, but maybe he.
You said heavyweight?
Yeah.
Is it Jan?
Fought for a championship.
Oh, fought for a championship.
Pavlovich?
So
He doesn't train at
It's a-
ATT anymore.
he's gone.
No, I miss him a lot. He's a really funny guy, but he hasn't been at ATT for like 2, maybe even 3 camps now. It's been a while.
Oh, maybe that's why he's on a losing streak. Gee,
Oh.
my girls have been asking me every morning, every time they wake up, and they're so beautiful and their eyes are droggy from sleeping over. They ask me for a puppy every single morning.
And you haven't gotten one yet?
What's wrong with you? Do you need help picking one out? G and I will totally assist.
I have 4 kids. I keep telling them that. I was like, as soon as one of the boys move out.
Right now it's storming here, so
Oh.
they're not in a good place. They're both freaking out. My little one's on my lap, and then she's over here. I'm like, the second the thunder starts, they're both like, nope.
You have bad weather by you? Is it that close?
I can't see from my studio, but from right here, it looks like the sun's shining by me.
Oh,
Must be raining in Miami.
Yeah, we got some thunder and lightning over here.
Jill and I are actually pretty far apart. We're like over an hour, I'm pretty sure. So, and
Yeah,
Florida's
well,
weird.
probably about an hour.
Yeah, right about. I was like, Florida's weird like that. It'll be sunny in one spot, raining in the other. Let's see what my watch says.
If you
It won't load.
Yeah, Sean, I totally agree for sure. For sure. All right. Into UFC news. We'll talk about weather maybe later. Macy Barber versus Aaron Blanchfield. One thing I didn't know, G, maybe this is just someone in the comments. They're saying a couple of people were saying they have beef. Do you know anything about that? Them have a little squash?
No, I've not. Yeah, I guess I've never heard anything about them having.
Yeah.
I guess public beef or anything.
I'm gonna Google it.
Yeah, I don't know. Twitter. I guess I don't. Yeah, I've never heard anything about it. Elle's looking like she's seeing something.
It was not hard to find.
Really? Whoa! Give us the tea.
This is the headline from MMA Junkie. Macy Barber fires back at Aaron Blanchfield for calling her pathetic, saying Aaron fought my leftovers. So I guess
I was gonna say they both seem like the type of girl who would want to talk to build up a fight, but like I don't think there's actual real beef there. You know, it's just like they have to fight each other.
I wouldn't disagree. I think people assume that Macy has like an attitude, but like I know her personally and she's actually a really, really sweet person.
Oh yeah.
So I feel like and I think I would think the same of Aaron Blanchfield. I think like, yeah, she's cold-blooded in the cage, but she seems like she's a genuinely nice person. So I'm kind of with you there, G. I think it's probably manufactured a little.
And it's like there is so much of it too for me. Like I genuinely don't like a person when I have to fight them. Like I like looking at their social media. Like I'm like, ew. Like I don't want to. I don't know. I'm not a fan of them when I have to fight them. So it's like I'm comfortable. Well, it's like I also believe that I'm going to win. So I'm comfortable talking like how I think the fight's going to play out. How like I am just confident in myself. And I think those two girls, I feel like they're very similar to me in that way of they just believe in themselves and they know that they have to fight each other and they just plan to show the other girl like what they're capable of. So I think it's more of a beef of like, no, I'm better than you. Like stop talking shit. I'm better than you, you know?
Yeah, because it's not like they're taking personal shots at each other. Like I think Tracy Cortez and Eileen Perez have pretty real beef. Like they seem to genuinely not like each other. It's a little more personal, right? Here it's just, yeah, like you said, and I get what you're saying too. It's like when you go look at like somebody, like an opponent's social media, it's like you're getting ready to come hurt me.
Yeah.
Like we're not cool right now. Like we can be cool later, but we're not cool right now, right?
Exactly. I'm like at that moment, like even like I remember like Michelle Watterson, because I think she's the only opponent I've really had that I followed before we got the matchup. So I'm like, I'd be scrolling my Instagram and she would just come up and I'm like, I don't want to see that. And then after the fight, I'm like, honestly, like I'm a huge fan of her. I love her. I'm like, she's started trying to do the commentary stuff with the UFC as well. I'm like, I think that's a great place for her. I'm like a huge fan of her. But before the fight, anytime I saw her come up on my Instagram, I was like,
I don't think I've ever asked you this, G. Is there a fight that you think of right away that you're making that walk or the night before, the day of, you're like, oh, I feel 110%. Like it could be Valentina in her prime. Like I'm smashing. Like there's just I'm dominating today. Is there an opponent that you remember that you're like, dude, there's no way that I can lose today?
In I guess in some weird way in my head, I feel like that almost makes me perform worse sometimes.
Oh, okay.
So like I feel like in my last fight, I felt like I saw her as a much lesser opponent than me. I didn't see Luana as very she didn't have a lot of ways to win the fight necessarily. And I feel like not having that, I guess, threat, that fear there of her makes me want I guess it makes me almost fight safer in a way because I don't want to let her get anything off. I'm like, then
Makes
it's
sense.
like I'm overcompensating for like, I know she's not as good as me. I can't let anybody see that. Like, if she does get like one good shot in or does something. So my last fight, I fought way too safe because of that. I feel like where looking at this next fight coming up, I feel like she's a little bit more dangerous. Marina has a little bit more weapons that she can take you out with. She's a vet. She's been around. I have a little bit more respect for her in that realm. And I feel like that makes it so, I guess that little bit extra fear helps me perform better.
Oh, makes sense.
If you have a chance to get her out of there, you better get her out of there type of thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I don't know, there's something about it, the nerves and the anxiousness keeps you on your toes a little bit. Like I was talking to my sports psychologist about it, and he's like, your body is getting you ready for these moments. And so like you have to be comfortable with the nerves. But it's like in a fight like my last one, I didn't feel like I had necessarily as many nerves. I'm like, I need more to get me ready. Like I need something to get me a little bit more nervous for this moment. And I feel like all my fights where I am a little bit nervous, but not obviously I don't think I've ever been over nervous. It's either the perfect amount of nerves or I'm under nervous, which is my issue.
And with that being said, like to literally have you kind of lead into the show, like 12 UFC wins, you fought in Canada, you fought in different countries, you fought at the Apex, like you've done so many different things. You fought on ABC. It's like, is it with you doing so much? Have you ever gotten like less, kind of antsy or nervous or anxious for the moment? Or is it another day at the office? Does that make sense? Like, have you gotten a little bit more comfortable with hey, 3 times a year in the UFC, I'm going to be fighting and, I'm on a 3-fight win streak. Like, are you getting more comfortable doing that, I guess?
I guess I would say I'm more comfortable in the way of if I go back to say like my first amateur fight ever, I don't remember a single thing that happened in that fight when I walked out of the cage. It was literally like I walked in and I got my hand raised and I walked out and I was completely blacked out for those 9 minutes. Those 3-minute rounds, I 100% blacked out. Where now coming out of the cage, I can tell you probably everything that just happened. And I'm very aware of like what's going on, things that are being said, thoughts that are going through my head. I'm very aware of the moments now because of that. And I feel like, I guess that's the comfortability, but it really depends on the opponent on my nervousness. But I think I've just become very comfortable with being in the cage now where it's like, literally, and even when I first got into the UFC, I had that kind of like blackout feeling anytime I was on my feet. Once I hit the floor, I could tell you what happened. Once we were doing jujitsu, I was calm and I could tell you everything that happened on the ground. But on the feet, I 100% like just couldn't tell you a single thing that happened, just went off my body's reaction. And like, I feel like I was just not, I guess, not present in those moments.
That's wild.
I feel that deep in my soul. Striking is scary, guys.
No, it's just in my last probably 4 or 5 fights. I feel like I've really gotten to the point where like leaving a fight, I can tell you like, oh, I did this on the feet too. I did this on the feet. I remember things striking wise because I'm just starting to be able to calm down and get comfortable. And it's like, I had 11 amateur fights. I had 5 pro fights outside of the UFC. This next one will be my 19th in the UFC. I'm like over 30 fights experience and I'm just starting to get to the point where I'm like, okay, things are like really slowing down now.
That's so crazy. That is awesome. Have you talked to Dean Thomas in the last 2 or 3 days about Sean Brady's performance?
Yeah, he said that he hasn't went back and watched it yet, but overall he's very happy with the performance.
Yeah.
My first thought, I'm like, do you have any takeaway, like any things that you think he did wrong? Like that's all I want to hear is what Dean thought he did wrong. And initially he had nothing to say. He felt like He pressured him well. His takedowns were all time well. He punched when he needed to punch, went for submissions when he needed to go for submissions. And he just overall approved of the performance, which I don't think it's hard to see in that. It was a beautiful performance by Sean Brady.
I don't remember, and I know he was the betting favorite, but still Leon, 0-2, London, he was still ranked 1 or 2, like, doesn't get more 50-42. You know what I mean? I know he ended the fight, but like after watching that fight for 1 minute, you're like, oh, Sean Brady is in cruise control. Like can't lose this fight. Like I'm very happy. I don't know if you heard it beforehand or saw it yet. Like they ranked Sean Brady number 1 in the welterweight division. I love that. Like no offense to Shavkat, but like he's coming off of a close win against Ian Gary. Now he's hurt, not fighting. Sean Brady just demolished Leon Edwards. Like, I love how they gave Sean that spot.
No, I do love that spot, and I think it's very deserving. I saw an interesting call out today. Joaquin Buckley was calling out Sean Brady. I'm like, I kind of like that matchup. I would love that fight. Yeah. Dude. I'm like, I would like to see that happen. I think that's a very interesting matchup. That's a contender fight to make.
Oh,
I agree. But and then part of me is that's why I don't want to see that fight, because you don't want to lose a contender in a division that's as exciting as welterweight is right now, which is why I think the Buckley-Usman matchup makes more sense. But gosh, do I want to see that fight just as a fan.
I think that's the best fight in the welterweight. Like that would be the most fight I'm intrigued about in the welterweight division. Even over a championship fight with Bilal and Brady, Ian Gary, who's like the high, like the darling of the division. Shavkat's this mystery guy. Give me Buckley versus Brady right now. Insane.
No, exactly. I'm like, I think that's the matchup to make. That's the matchup that, like you said, it's like the two up and comers, the two people that I feel like are going to be in title contention soon. And obviously Brady taking the number 1 spot should be, I don't know, with whatever's happening with the division. I don't know, Islam moving up, things like that. With the title fight already coming into contention, it's like, does Brady just want to wait for the shot at the title, or does he want to take an opportunity at another fight? Which obviously, like, they're talking about the Usman Buckley as well, which I'm like, either one of those, honestly, I'm excited to watch. If maybe Buckley gets the Usman win, Brady's on the bench for a while, and we still get that Buckley and Brady fight.
Yeah.
SG is saying, like, this is kind of what I was thinking too. Like, if Shavkat says he's going to be healthy in June or July, Bilal's not going to be ready yet if he beats JDM. Maybe Shavkat and Brady this summer as a title eliminator, and or as like a number 1 contender for after Islam, because we all agree, regardless of what we think should happen, Islam's probably getting an immediate title shot if he goes up to 170. 100%. So especially if they want that Islam fight to happen, tie up Buckley with Usman and Shavkat with Brady, and then Gary with Leon. And then at the end of that whole debacle, you have a lot of contenders.
That's insane. Like, I don't ever remember the welterweight division being this deep.
No way. This is the best season for 170 right now.
That's insane.
No, I just want to know why the UFC hasn't signed Elle as the matchmaker yet.
Wow.
I'm just saying, Sean and Mick are busy guys. They got a lot of fighters on their roster. Like, call me. Oh, no. This came out. Oof.
Should we click on it?
It's news. We'll touch on it. This is happened years ago, guys. Like the betting scandal that happened with James Krause. Melina has been suspended for quite some time. So suspended for 3 more. Is it including the time that he's already spent suspended? Because he's already been suspended for like at least almost 2 years, if not.
Like it, right?
Yeah, and it's been at least 2 years since he's fought. So maybe if it's just 1 year left, Melina can probably have,
What I read said that it was considering time served, and he was supposed to come back. I believe it's November, what I read earlier. So Yeah, I think the end of his time should be coming up this year anyway.
That's good. That's awesome for Jeff Molina. I think he's a young kid. Maybe got tied up. I don't know what happened, but he's got a lot of talent. And the flyweight division obviously always needs new talent. So hopefully, that'll get resolved and he'll be back this year. So
crazy. Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know that had, I knew that their hearing was coming up, but I didn't know if it was finalized yet.
One thing they just dropped too, the UFC just dropped the poster. I think it's like in 2 weeks. I think it's the week before the UFC pay-per-view, I think. Is that Josh Emmett versus the Ron Murphy? Like, how good is yeah, it's a great fight. Like, Ron Murphy is so underrated. No one ever talks about him. Like, I've never heard him on any show or any.
I talk about Ron Murphy. I love that dude. Sorry, Dave. Carry on.
Honestly, his last fight, he was given a main event at the Apex, and I was thinking when I first saw it, I was like, "Who is this guy?" And then after watching that fight, though, honestly, like 100% became a fan. Yeah. Absolute technician on the feet. Super excited to watch. I'm siding with him a little bit on this one against Josh Emmett.
Me too.
Same. Like, I think he's a hard guy to beat. He's so complete.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys are probably way better of understanding this than me. And this is just a casual take, I think. Josh Emmett is so good at like that one shot, like the one power shot. And to me, the older you get, like, I think you lose 1/4 of a second off that shot. So if you nail it, it's not as clean, or you miss Ilya's off the line. Like, does that make sense at all? I just think the older those guys get, like Derek Lewis and Josh Emmett, yeah, you can always get that shot for sure. I just think it's harder for those guys to keep doing it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that's not a casual take at all. I think what fighters lose as they get older is their reaction time.
Right.
It's not just the overall speed, but it's like
a count,
especially if you're a counter striker,
Yes.
And if you're explosive like Josh Emmett, I do think that's what starts to go first. Did somebody say that Edson worked? Like, Edson's my friend. Lerone Murphy, won that fight decisively. Yeah. What fight were you watching? I love Edson. He's a wonderful fighter and a wonderful guy, but Lerone was a monster in that fight.
How does Edson Barbosa get older in age but keep on adding abs? How is that?
He literally doesn't age.
Yeah.
Like, he has to look the same as he did when you trained at ATT, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%. No, and even like
change. That's it.
Even with like the bigger weight cut, I'm like, you would think like that would you'd slow you down, do something to you. I'm like, nothing phases that man.
Dude, no. Father Time is undefeated except against Edson Barbosa. Like, I'll just sit and like watch him hit the bag. He's he's a freaking artist, guys. Like, crazy. Artist.
Crazy. Real quick, G, we did a fun thing earlier. L picked 3 pretty spot on names. I picked the exact 3. I'm going to show you a list of 10 world champions, like 10 all-time greats, 10 GOATs. 3 of them you need to take off this list. They're all great. We're not saying one's better, but you have to take off 3. Are you ready?
Okay.
What 3 out of this list? And you have Khabib Nurmagomedov, George St. Pierre, Anderson Silva, John Jones, Stipe Miocic, Alexander Volkanovski, Dominic Cruz, Mighty Mouse Demetrius Johnson, the greatest female fighter in the history of the sport, Amanda Nunes, and Valentina Shevchenko. What 3 is off your list, G?
So I don't think Stipe is up there.
We agree. All right, 1 for 1.
I don't know who your 3rd one is. I would say I don't think Dominic either.
We agree. 2 for 2.
That's what I'm saying. Your 3rd one is the only one that's kind of throwing me off.
It's tough.
I think you'll agree when you hear ours, but I'll let you pick your 3rd.
Yeah, the 3rd one's the only one I'm debating on. I don't know. I don't know. I have a hard time calling this one for 3rd.
All right. Well, you nailed 2. And not that. It's a preference thing for sure. We picked Valentina Shevchenko.
That was gonna be the third I was thinking of. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to take anything away from her because she has had the belt since the beginning of the 125-pound division. Aside from like Alexa took it from her for one fight and she took it right back. I'm like, I don't feel like I don't want to take anything away from her, but she also hasn't fought the best of competition in those fights.
I agree. And I know this is going to sound bad. It's just my opinion. I think that Alexa Grasso loss will look worse the further we keep going.
I think it's not going to age very well.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't think Grasso is going to bounce back and be a world champion again and have top 3 wins. I think she'll, from here on out, I think she'll be like a 50-50 fighter.
And I definitely think that her win was more like she took advantage of the opportunity that was in front of her, and it's a crazy sport and things happen. I don't think that it was necessarily she was the better fighter. So I do see that point of view. It's like, you see it at heavyweight all the time. A guy just throws his hand and catches a punch, and it's like he's not the better fighter, but he just happened to land a punch.
Right.
It was kind of one of those scenarios where Valentina made a mistake and Alexa capitalized on it, and maybe like 9 times out of 10, Valentina wins the fight, and that was the one time that Alexa found her hole. So I can definitely see that, but like it's just the longevity she's had with the belt at 125, where it's like I didn't want to completely discount her there.
Yeah.
Nope, for sure. Coming up in 10 minutes, G, we have, I believe, GOAT teammate of yours, Shabazi and Rin, coming on the show.
Yes, Shazabe, yeah.
Shazabe.
They've said it 3 different ways today. The first time you said it to me, the way you spelled it, I couldn't even find him on Google.
Shazabe?
Yeah, Shazabe.
All right. I'm writing this down. Shazabe. And then I was going to give you, I saw even on your IG stories a couple of days ago, how great was CJ Brand over the weekend?
CJ was absolutely amazing. Took that fight on 4 days' notice, went in there, and it looked like he had a full training camp, just like walked through the guy. I don't think he took a single punch. He was in the gym on Monday, back to like sparring, doing whatever, moving around. He is an absolute dog. And then Shazabe's actually going to be defending his belt, I believe, the day before I fight. So he's fighting on Friday, and I'll be fighting on the Saturday, May 2nd and May 3rd.
So cool. Did you think about going to that event down there in South Florida, G? The one that CJ fought at, the Dirty Boxing?
Oh, I don't leave my house. So
okay.
I was gonna text you and see, and I was like, she doesn't go places. That's not a thing.
Exactly.
I just didn't know some of those people are maybe not any more the biggest G fans. I don't know. Just throwing it out there. Maybe. But I just think CJ, to me.
What happened?
I don't even know.
Weren't you under the FRM umbrella at one time and not?
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I'm told, I'm heard, that maybe they hold grudges for a little bit. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I've also had them in my inbox within the last year, so they're not holding a grudge to me.
Whoa, hey! Whoa.
Now you can use your breaking news.
Whoa. Wait. Breaking news, people in Gillian Robertson's inbox.
From sliding into Gillian.
Yeah, we had breaking news earlier with Dakota Ditcheva, G.
It wasn't breaking.
Big news.
Got to use the cool button though.
I need like a little red thing.
If you have some time, go back and watch earlier.
Don't. It was.
Don't do it.
I feel like we've been live. I think Elle and I have been live for like 5 straight days. It feels like my brain is rotted.
It's getting
hair's
weird.
gone. Crazy. All right, Gee, we're Brandon Moreno wins this the weekend. Beats Usyk.
Yeah, I think he does. I think it's a pretty solid win for him. I'm really looking forward to the Joe Pyfer Kelvin Gastelum fight.
Let me push this button for you.
I think that's going to be a super.
This card is awesome.
Oh yeah. The only thing is it's Mexico City, right?
Yes.
Like, the elevation always plays into it for some people. I'm like, you have to have the ability to be able to go out there at least a month early otherwise. And it's just, it's not possible for everybody, and it's definitely something that you got to take into account in these fight nights.
That's why this co-main event though is gonna be amazing because Drew Dober and Manuel Torres do not get tired.
I thought that I'm gonna pronounce his name wrong because I do it every time. C-Rod and
Costa.
Milky. Yeah.
Milky.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think that should be a prelim fight. I was surprised that was done there.
That's a killer fight.
I know. That was one I definitely thought deserved a main card spot.
Man, Costa has been busy. I feel like he just fought.
Just got that guillotine over Andre Fili. It felt like a month or two ago.
He's a massive featherweight too. Like he's a big dude. He cuts a lot of weight.
That's actually good input, L, for like on the betting lines. It's hard for to make that cut, win, and then make that cut again. I would assume after you win, big stoppage, you're going out and get some ice cream afterwards. You're hanging with the boys. You know what I mean? Like, just throwing it out there. Wow, I didn't know Grant Dawson's son is fighting on this card. All right, I've stopped. I'm sorry.
I was like, ooh. I was like, oh, Garcia. Oh, that was supposed to be Neto too. Neto was supposed to fight Rafa Garcia on this card, and he got hurt. So now it's Vince Pichel. It's actually going to be a pretty fun fight, to be honest.
Yeah.
Lupi
Godinez, always fun.
Yeah, that's a good fight.
I want Lupi Godinez, C-Rod, Joe Pfeiffer. We didn't even say Rojas Jr., who was like the biggest star of Noche like 2 years ago. The co-main event and then the main event. Dude, I love this card. This card's sick.
Like, just got to hope it holds up. We had a good card 2 weeks ago. Last week I had high hopes for it and was let down. So I'm sitting over here, fingers crossed. Like, we got to have another good one.
Very true. All right, I was going to let you run, but a good question. SG has been the best comment person of this day. She goes, who is G's dream opponent?
Well, I guess ideally Weili Zhang, you know, like that would be the dream right now. I guess, yeah, no, that still stands for like overall. I think that I think I have a trajectory that I see on the way up there. So I think we get Marina and then start looking top 5, and then that should be a fight that's happening soon.
I love it, dude. What you submitting Weili Zhang, UFC 339, 340, co-main event of a pay-per-view. Underneath the main event is Sugar Sean O'Malley versus Marab, the trilogy. Insane.
Sometime next year it's happening.
I love it. Well, I'm excited, guys. UFC Iowa is coming around the corner. Stacked card as well. The people's main event, the real main event, Gillian the Savage Robertson versus Marina Rodriguez. G, appreciate you like always. We will talk to you soon.
I'll see you guys
later. Gillian the Savage Robertson. What a stud.
That is crazy. They announced, I saw this. This announced Costa's fight the next week after he beat Fili. He was right back in there. Ooh.
Yeah. Sorry.